too hard at the ice out the neck. It's way too hard at the ice out the neck. When I'm in my zone, bitch, I get my respect. Call me bumping Justin.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Texas Sports World. I'm your host, Ethan. That is Shane. Isaac will be here in a little bit. He's dealing with some baby mama drama. Not really, but some baby. You got to do something with his baby. Anyways, it's Shane's birthday. Y'all let him know happy birthday in the comments or whatnot. It's been a great day for Houston Rockets fans and NBA fans all over the world. But first of all, I want to get your initial thoughts because you had no idea till I told you. So, what's your initial reaction to everything that kind of went down today for the Rockets and Kevin Durant?
Well, you definitely caught me off guard. I think you messaged me probably like 9 a.m. or something, maybe 10 a.m. this morning. I was like, what are you talking about? I did not think the deal would get made this early. And then I looked at it and I was even more shocked by what we gave up. I thought it was going to be a lot more. I think we got a steal of a deal on this. And I think next 2 years we are going to be able to compete for a title pretty easily, in my opinion.
Yeah, dude, I agree. I agree. It's, because it's crazy because everybody always the basis of the whole deal that was kind of what everybody thought is that, that Suns are going to want their first round picks back, right? They're going to want, their future back that they traded to Brooklyn originally to get Kevin Durant. And the whole idea was that they were going to want to get their guys back, their picks back so they can kind of keep rebuilding on their future. Come to find out, Raphael Stone dropped his stones on the table and basically said, no, I'm not giving you those back. Those are mine. And it's kind of extremely smart because in a lot of ways, if the Suns suck, which kind of is because the anticipation is that they're going to reroute Jalen Green to another team. And so whatever they get in return for that obviously could change things. But the future of that franchise does seem a little bleak, in my opinion. And so we still have their first round picks for the next couple of years. And all we had to give up was 5 second round picks, which in reality is like, depending on where they're at. But
yeah, we don't even know. It just says TBD. So I don't think
Right.
the actual official deal's gone through yet, but
yeah, I don't think it'll go through till after like July 6th or something like that. So it won't be official for a couple weeks, which is kind of funny. It's kind of funny that they decided to do this deal the day of Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Like nobody cares about the NBA Finals. Nobody's going to be talking about the NBA Finals in Game 7 today or for the next couple of days, regardless of really how it turns out. So yeah, the deal is Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, five second round picks, and the number 10 pick this year. For all intents and purposes, that 10th pick wasn't really in the Rockets' favor to keep because there wasn't going to be a player at 10 that was going to be able to get on the floor anyways. So when you're in a position that the Rockets are in now where, they want to go win a championship and the big thing has been the timeline of everything and how the deal, if you had to give up, Jabari, Tari, Reed, and all these picks or whatever it is that just for Kevin Durant, that kind of blows up the whole idea and the whole rebuild, the whole timeline. But in reality, you still have everything you need to have. So
we didn't have to give up much, and I'm pretty happy about that. We got rid of Dylan Brooks, who I'm not a huge fan of on the Rockets, at least. And I knew it was either going to come down to Green or Şengün, and I had a feeling we weren't going to give up Şengün, especially after he played in the playoffs. He was able to score consistently.
Right, and that was the Rockets' biggest issue with the Rockets was the fact that for whatever reason they just couldn't. There was at one point where it was Amen Thompson was our only scoring capability, and love the guy. I think he's going to be an All NBA defender. I think he's going to be an All NBA type of player in his career, but he just doesn't. He lacks outside shooting or a mid range jump shot, at least consistently.
Yeah.
And so ultimately, if he has the ability, it's like I was saying in the play at one point, it was just give Amon the ball, let him run to the basket. Really is what kind of the offense was at certain points. My main man, our co-host Isaac has joined the chat. Isaac, how are you doing today, brother?
What's going on?
We're living life. We're doing things.
Whoa, hey, something's up with your microphone, brother.
Can we hear?
Yeah, there we go.
That's better. We're good.
What happened?
I don't know. I think it was just delayed catching up.
Oh, okay. What do we got
So
going
yeah,
on?
yeah, man. We were just kind of going through what the how everything went down. What our initial thoughts were. What it could all mean for the timeline. What were your when you saw it go through? What was
Mhm.
kind of going through your brain? Because I know you weren't super
Um,
in, but the deal and the deal. When you look at the deal in total, with what now that it's official, what do you think now?
I have buyer's remorse. I feel like I'm nervous to see how Jalen Green is going to do. The Dylan Brooks thing is crazy to me. I didn't. Okay, I guess get him out of here, and then overall it's a good trade for us. A lot of people are saying that we got fleeced somehow. I'm not seeing it, um, but Kevin Durant's here, so that's got to be a win. He's going to be more consistent than Jalen Green, so that's going to help.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen people on Twitter and stuff basically saying that they were like, oh, he's going to play over under 30.5 games in a Rockets jersey. I mean, statistically, I hear. Here's the thing about the whole injury thing. Okay, I understand that he is an older player. I get it, but ultimately, to me, it feels like if you look at the statistically, he's averaged like 70 games a season outside of the 2 seasons he was hurt. Now, obviously, they were major injuries for a guy like that, but if he can stay healthy, that's a big if. Even if he can play 60 games, I feel like at 60, because you still like we were saying, you still got Tari, you still got Bari, you still got Reed, you still got Cam Whitmore, you still have you still have now Jock Landale obviously doesn't really matter, but you still have a backup center now because the whole thing was is you thought you were going to have to put that in there for salary filler. But you still have a lot of your roster.
Yeah. I think the thing I'm most excited about with KD being here now is he gets to, or Jabari gets to kind of be under his wing a little bit. So like we could see, what is happening? We could see, I'm excited to see what Jabari is going to look like here in the next couple of seasons.
I think he's definitely going to be able to step up a lot. He's going to have a lot more opportunity and be under Kevin Durant's wing. Just going to hopefully help him develop into an even better player.
Yeah. I think, I don't know. I'm still I feel weird about it. I don't know. I'm not as excited as I thought I was going to be. Just because like now that we have him, now that Katie's on the team, I feel like there's so many other glaring issues with him that it's like, ooh, I don't know. Like he
I
is
mean,
old. He does miss a lot of time, So like, what happens if that injury happens in the playoffs? That's kind of the whole reason we brought him here. So like, if we make it to the playoffs and then he's injured, or he has to sit out a series, where are we at then?
well, I think that kind of plays into the whole narrative of running it back with your core guys because you didn't have to bring them. You didn't. All you had to give up was a Dylan Brooks who was gonna get you flagrant fouls and unnecessary techs and all this type. Like, just he's a good defender. I get it, and I get wanting to have a guy like that on your roster. I understand it, but when you look at the length we have and the guys that can play defense already on the roster, it doesn't seem like him being a loss is going to be as major. And Jalen Green, he could have an SGA arc where after he gets traded, he ends up where because I don't think he plays for the Suns this year. I think they route him somewhere else eventually. Either that or the Suns are going to buy out Bradley Beal and move on, or do a little trade and or something. Because those three, I don't think you can keep those three guys on the roster at the same time in Phoenix. But that's neither here nor there. For us personally, like I said, losing Dylan Brooks because KD was second in the NBA behind Amen Thompson in defensive field goal percentage. So like he still has some defensive ability to him. He's not a schlub on the defensive side of the court. So it's not like you're losing a whole lot there. You get some floor spacing. You get a guy who can hit mid range. You get a guy who can hit the three. And ultimately the way this defense is, Kevin Durant was going to need to go at any other place he's played. He needed to be 27, 25 a night type of guy. He doesn't need to be that here. Especially you still got Fred VanVleet, who's one of your guards who already won a championship, who already has a ring. So you have that type of culture setter already, So it feels like adding Kevin Durant with how little you had to give up only pushes the roster in a positive direction, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it improves our half court offense tremendously. I mean, this last year we just run and gun, and we won a lot of games in transition. And when it get to the playoffs, can't really do that as much. Defense tightened up a lot more, and it's kind of we kind of fizzled out a little bit over. I think that was an underrated Golden State team, especially with the addition of Jimmy Buckets. I mean, yeah, he was hurt, whatever, but
Right. Still
we
Jimmy
couldn't-
Buckets.
yeah, still Jimmy Buckets, still help spread the floor out for them. Yeah, Buddy Hield making threes. We don't need to go on to that, but I think we're going to be able to score a lot more when it comes down to those times. And realistically, if we get Kevin Durant for 60 games during the regular season, just to make sure he stays healthy and has energy for playoffs, we just need to make the playoffs, and we can compete with any team in the West.
Yeah, I agree.
So y'all are on board with the Kevin Durant thing. Y'all are
I
happy?
mean, yeah. I mean, I'm happy for what we gave away. We talked about this the other night. We thought like the package was going to be massive for him.
Right.
It's not. 5 second-round picks. That's not really crazy. We gave them their pick back this year. Yeah, 10th pick. And then, I mean, you and me had different viewpoints on Dylan Brooks. I thought it was like, hopefully we could get rid of him. And then we lost Jalen Green also, who's Kevin Durant pretty much is going to replace that scoring and do better in the half-court game than Jalen Green. We have Thompson stepped up defensively. He's going to be probably the best defensive player in the league for the next couple of years, or one of the best defensive wing players. And then Cam Whitmore. We get Cam Whitmore back playing. He barely played last year, especially in the playoffs. And that dude, 2 years ago, that dude was balling.
Yeah,
so
that's
we're going to see him.
That's what I was saying earlier. Is like you still have like now next year. Let's if for whatever reason Kevin Durant can't go for a little bit or whatever. I think Cam Whitmore is really who's going to be the one to step up. Cam Whitmore may be able to take on a little bit more of that responsibility in such a way that it won't have a negative effect not having Jalen Green on the court.
So do y'all think we're done as far as like
No.
Who do you think we're going after now?
I don't know. I don't because there's been a lot because we still have. Just in our picks alone that we still have tradable assets if we wanted to. I don't think maybe we don't, but I think there's a possibility that we could still make a move. And also there's some guys in the free agent market that like specifically at the 2-guard position, which would kind of be where we would need to add people, because right now it's like Reed Shepherd and that's it, right? And at the 2-guard, so
yeah.
You're talking about maybe I here we go. I forgot his name. But there's guys in the free agent market at the 2-guard that you could bring in and still get some scoring, still have a veteran presence that are still kind of young. A Gary Trent Jr., he's not super elite by any means, but I think if you had him rotating in at the 2-guard position, it could be beneficial. There was another name that I thought was even better than that. He played for the let me see. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Malik Beasley. Malik Beasley.
Oh yeah, I saw him.
40 like about 42% from 3, about 17 points a game, athletic guard, lengthy, still relatively young. I think he's like 28, So, and because Fred VanVleet's contract is going to be less if he signs an extension. So you're going to open up money there. You still have the 14 the what's it called? The full MLE, it's like 14.1 million or something in space you can use. That could be Nickeil Alexander, Gary Trent Jr., Malik Beasley, Malcolm Brogdon,
Cam Thompson.
Camden, who is
from Brooklyn this last year, averaged 20 points a game.
Yeah, sure. Karis LeVert, maybe someone like that. The Rockets have put themselves in a position where if they wanted to go build out this roster, even with the addition of Kevin Durant, they can still do so. And I think, you don't have, because a lot of the issues last year was within our bench. Our bench was just so young,
Mm-hmm.
So if you can go add a veteran to play with the Cam Whitmore, to play with the Tari Eason, or to play with the Reed Shepherd, have Fred be the one guard, I think that's you're talking about a team that's top 2, not 2 in the West, because you can't look me. The Rockets are sitting there right now watching these NBA finals and are pissed off because they could beat this Pacers team, and they are definitely they beat the Oklahoma City team in the regular season. So I think this Rockets team looks at this trade and is like, we were right there. We were so close. All we had to do is get over that Golden State hump.
So you think we were just one Kevin Durant away from going all the way there?
I mean, I think we got a tough draw with Golden State. We were right there with them. I think we should have ended up beating them. You have Green actually scoring. If he averaged 18 points a game, nothing crazy, I think we would have been able to handle him. And then who do we have next? The Grizzlies. I think we matched up pretty well with the Grizzlies. I think this year we could have had a chance for at least like a conference finals run. I don't think we would have won that. Maybe we would have, but I think we had a lot of the right pieces, just a little young, and I think we're just going to grow.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think I saw something online, and it was like, whenever KD finally ends up retiring in the next 3 to 4 years or whatever, all of our key players are going to be like in their mid-20s.
Yeah, I saw the same thing. I can give you and so when somebody said in 3 years when KD is washed or the window is closed or whatever they want to say, Amen will be 25, Şengün will be 26, Tari will be 27, Jabbar will be 25, Reed and Cam will both be 24.
Yeah, so we get to open up the window and then go compete for a championship right now, and then also when KD's done, we're still like the window's still open. Like I feel like the window is.
It's a garage now. I don't think it's a window. It's like a garage now.
Yeah.
It's like you added a jetpack to a rocket, literally. Mm-hmm. So it feels like they could really, with the right moves and with the right things that they do from here on out in the off season, they could really position themselves to be a favorite in the West, which is something we haven't talked about or even really felt that was even possible since James Harden and Chris Paul and Trevor Ariza and that group of guys who took the greatest assembled basketball team in the history of basketball. You could argue that to the brink. We were a Chris Paul pulled hamstring away from
what we needed to do.
Yeah. And
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm excited. I think we're definitely better now than we were before. But how do we feel or how do we look, if we don't win not a national championship, if we don't win a championship with Kevin Durant, did we lose the trade? Within the next 3 years, if it doesn't pan out to be anything, kind of worth the shit, then how do we look back at this?
I think we just gotta base it off how well Jalen Green plays on his next team.
Yeah. Honestly.
In 3 years, if he's kind of does what SGA did and steps up his game and is competing for an MVP, and we don't win a championship and he's smoking everybody, then yeah, it's kind of like, did we make the right decision? But I don't know. Who knows? I think we got a solid chance. I mean, he's gotten better every single year, so maybe
could happen.
He's got a high ceiling.
I don't know. I wasn't getting what did you? I missed the first part of the podcast, so I know Ethan was super excited about it.
Yeah, I was pretty pumped.
You were pretty pumped too?
I was, yeah. He messaged me this morning. It was like, "Did you hear the news?" And I was like, "What are we talking about?"
Isaac actually called me. Yeah.
I think I told Ethan, and then you told him.
Yeah, I didn't, because usually you get like the ESPN update or something, or like I didn't get nothing. Isaac calls me and he starts telling me the deal. I'm like, bullshit. I was like, no way. I was like, who? I was like, I don't see it. You're lying, because he does that because he likes to troll. So he likes to call me and be like, give me some off the wall crazy stuff. just to see how I react because he likes to
Right.
troll. And so I thought that's what this was. He's like, no, man, it's right here. I'm looking at it. I was like, what are you talking about? Why are you lying to me right now? And so I go on Twitter. Sure shit. Lo and behold, Jalen Green, number 10, Dylan Brooks in 5 seconds. I was like, what? Oh my God.
Yeah, I do think I'm curious as to why because I wonder what all the other trades look like.
That's a good point. If
Because
this was what
we-
this couldn't have been
Really
the best
didn't
deal.
give up. It
I know
couldn't.
the Grizzlies were putting together a pretty crazy package for him, but he didn't want to go in there, and it's the Kevin Durant show. He wanted to go to San Antonio, Houston, or Miami, and Miami didn't want to trade. I read something that they didn't want to trade hardly anybody for him, and I don't think the Spurs wanted to give up what they have either for him. So
So
I
for the
think,
people, go ahead. Sorry.
no, I was just saying, I think Houston put the best package together because we kind of it was kind of up to us, and they weren't. I don't know. I don't know how to explain this very well. I don't know. We'll come back to it. We'll circle back.
Okay. So for the people out there who are saying this is because my stepdad texted me and said the same thing, that this is the dumbest trade ever. I would like to implore you and ask you to tell me the outside of his age, outside of the fact that he's 36, turning 37, what is the basketball reason that the Rockets didn't get better today? Is there a reason you can tell me in basketball terms why the Rockets didn't get better today?
I think personally, if I had to answer that question, I would say, outside of age, he's prone to missing games, which could hurt us depending on where that falls. Like if he's guaranteed to miss 20 games, depending on where that falls in the season, could probably be not great for us.
Yeah, I mean, 20 games isn't crazy though. A lot of people miss 20 games.
Yeah, but it just seems like realistically, I don't have an answer outside of his age. He is old. 37 is old, and
right.
There's gonna be a fall off at some point. I don't know because Katie's a freaking unicorn, so maybe not.
Yeah, he's old, but he's still 7 feet tall and
Yeah.
he shoots from really high up. So if you get people that can start blocking that more easily, then yeah, he's not that good. But realistically, not many people can block that shot. And he can still knock it down.
Another interesting statistic that I saw was the 4-man lineup of Fred VanVleet, Amen, Şengün, and Jabari without Jalen Green last year. 110 minutes, a net rating of 21.12, an offensive rating of 122, defensive rating of 100. You had a good defense, 45% opponent field goal percentage from 2. Now you add one of the best scorers in the NBA. So, there's just, I don't see the basketball. Like, I get it. He's old and he may miss some games. I understand. But I can't wrap my head around the basketball reason. He's still going to score. He's still a scorer at heart. He's not a schlub on defense. You didn't have to lose any of your core pieces outside of Jalen Green. You still have the guys that you bought into and you drafted. You didn't have to give up any of their first round picks. So you still have those. This is still a team that from top to bottom can compete with anybody. Now, especially now, because it's the way I see it, you're the only thing you're really losing is Jalen Green. Because you replaced Dylan Brooks with Kevin Durant. That's a win immediately.
I think so. Yeah, I don't think our defense is gonna suffer at all. That might probably not even a good word. I think there might be a little bit less.
Sure.
But I mean, we'll have to see how Cam Whitmore plays.
Right.
That
gets offset by the offensive scoring though.
Yeah, I think the thing we lose the most is our transition offense, and we're losing young guns that we can throw it down the floor to. They're running down there, but we're replacing that with better half court offense. So we're replacing that with a championship leader who can score at any point.
Right. And like I was saying, I think I said this before you got on, Isaac, but you have, Fred VanVleet, who's already won a ring, so he knows what it takes to get there. You have Kevin Durant, who's already won a ring, who knows what it takes to get there. So it's not like this is kind of goes to what you were saying the other day about Shane, about having a good mixture of guys at different points in their career. And I think we do. I think we have that now.
I agree.
You have two guys who have been there and done that before, who are still elite at their position. Now we can quibble about Fred VanVleet because I'm not super sold that he's quote unquote elite at his position, but maybe with more floor spacing, maybe with the more consistent play of Steven Adams, maybe the evolution of Jabari, the evolution of Şengün, maybe there's some more untapped potential in Fred VanVleet that you could talk about, So I think
Fred VanVleet just brings experience, like he's situationally really good, and he kind of like he knows when to turn it on, and I think that's pretty valuable. Whenever
I agree, I think he can make good decisions.
Yes, so I don't think he's not your point guard like Steph, who's gonna go out there and try to drop 30 every night and light it up. But whenever he needs to, he can kind of turn it on and kind of get you out of some sticky situations.
Absolutely. I think we sign a shooter, hopefully a shooting guard, like a Buddy Hield type, someone who can just stay in the corner and pop a shot. We'll have Kevin Durant playing mid-range real well, Fred VanVleet setting up that high screen pick and roll with either Steven Adams or Şengün, some down low, and we can either dish it to Kevin from there or dish it out to the side to that shooter. And I think that's kind of the offense we got to run.
I'm pretty excited that Kevin, I feel like we never have a, I don't know, because I remember there was talks of LeBron coming to Houston a long time ago. I think right before he went to Miami, right after. And I was like, oh, that'd be cool. And then I think Kevin Durant was also rumored to come to Houston a while, a long time ago. And I was like, oh, that'd be cool. It's at least now we get him.
Yeah.
I think we're at a good point roster-wise where, it makes sense for him to be here now. Because I think he knows also, he's getting up there. He probably is not going to play for very much longer. And he's like, all right, I want to get one more before I go out of here. So, yeah, I think overall, A- trade.
A-? What would have got – I mean, fair. I guess you can't really call any trade A+ if it's not a complete fleece. So I guess A- is probably the right grade there.
I'd say the Deshaun Watson trade was an A+.
Oh, yeah, the Deshaun Watson trade was A+. We're still reaping the benefits of that.
Hell yeah.
An A+ trade. Now we just got to bring James Harden home.
Bring back the beard.
Bring
the beard back.
Let's get some veterans on the squad.
No, thank you. Pass.
We're done. No, we're done with that.
I would like to see it though. I think it'd be fun.
He's not the same player. Not anymore.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, we don't need him to be the 30-a-night guy that he used to be. He was only here because that's all we had.
We don't, but Brooklyn tried to do that 3 years ago, and we saw. I mean, yeah, they had injuries, but dude, that was just you just when you have too many high profile players like that, you lose everything on the bench. That's what the Suns just were.
That's true.
I don't know how they're gonna. Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna get out of this. But another thing I think that's really setting us up is we have 2 first-round picks in 2027. So if it doesn't work out this next year, we're gonna be able to make some changes pretty quickly.
Yeah, and we still have that's a lot of trade leverage right there that we can still use. We don't necessarily need to use those draft picks. I think the Rockets are in a great position. The more I think about it, we retain. I would have felt a lot worse about this trade had we given up anybody else besides who we gave up. So I think they made it work somehow. Yeah. And I think the roster is looking good for the next decade, probably at least. The future, the next decade of this Rockets team looks pretty good.
You want to hear something crazy? So the Suns traded Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Jay Crowder, and 5 first-round picks for Jalen Green and Dillon Brooks.
Just now?
No. But I'm saying if in the trade in the grand scheme of things, how the trades broke down between the two, they basically traded all that for Jalen Green and Dillon Brooks.
Do you think they keep Jalen Green?
No, I think because this shouldn't have been, honestly, it really shouldn't have been that big of a surprise, because there were reports coming out that the Suns were shopping Jalen Green before it even happened. So like
Yeah.
this tells me what it tells me is we think that this deal is a major win for the Rockets, but I think they took this deal knowing that they can flip Jalen Green for something, and then in reality they get Dylan Green, number 10, Dylan Brooks, number 10, 5 seconds plus whatever they get for Jalen Green.
Right. Yeah,
And
they need like another power forward or center type over there.
What if they trade? Like, what if they keep Jalen Green and because they have
Bradley
Book
Beal and
still,
Dylan Brooks.
and
Yeah.
so like they could
Yeah.
trade one of those guys and probably get a lot. Because how valuable is Jalen Green right now?
He's
Pretty hot on the market, man.
Really? Do you think so? I don't know. What do you get from him? Like, what do you get?
He's a young rising star.
I
Like,
think that's questionable.
I don't know, him by himself, probably nothing super crazy unless there was like a really desperate team. Like, I mean, Brooklyn is kind of a desperate team right now. They're in the middle of the rebuild, and if they don't do good for that 26-27 season, we snag their draft pick. So, I mean,
Yeah,
they're kind of like in a hurry up rebuild mode right now. But yeah, I don't think they're going to trade Brooks, man. That they've had him since the beginning. They love that guy there, and like Bradley Beal with that no trade clause, I don't like. They're going to have to get rid of Green.
Because I did some research on the Bradley Beal no trade clause. If he does get traded, he gets an extra 15% on top of the salary he currently makes. So like a team that's trading for him has to take that. He's already getting like 48 or 40, whatever the number is.
Yeah.
If he gets traded, he's going to get an extra 15% on top of that. So I think the move that they probably do is because what they're trying to do is get out of the second apron because it restricts, and Isaac doesn't understand the aprons. I don't really understand it either, but it basically makes it very hard for you to do anything.
Yeah.
So that's what they're trying to do. Now, what they could do ultimately is buy out Bradley Beal, get off of his contract, or they trade or they figure something else out there. But if I'm the Suns, I'm keeping Jalen Green. At this point, you have no reason to not.
Right.
Because also outside of his contract being over $100 million or whatever, and now he's a little bit iffy on if he's worth it or not. But next year he goes out, averages 23, 24, 25 points a game. He plays that, then that's a steal of a deal,
Yeah, maybe Jalen Green just needs a little change of scenery. Maybe we just couldn't develop him and somebody else can.
I think it was also the type of team and the type of coach he was playing for here.
Yeah.
Because Ime is more of a defensive guy. We weren't an up and down offensive team, in the sense that, I mean, yeah, all we could do was get up and down, but we weren't like a high powered offense. And I think that restricted his ability as a scorer. And I think we saw the outcome of that in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, what was this his third or fourth year in the league?
Fourth.
She's going. And he's averaging 21 points. Like, that's pretty solid for a young guy. Like, he's only 22, 23 years old. He went like G League route, didn't he?
He played for G League. Yeah, I think he played for G League Ignite and then got drafted like number 2.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. What's up? What's happening? What's on your mind? Talk to me, brother.
I'm confused. I'm so confused because, like, I don't know. Like, there's nothing to be upset about, but I feel upset. Like, I feel like something is wrong, but I don't know.
Dude, you miss Brooks. Just admit it. You miss Brooks.
Yeah, I do kind of miss Brooks. I kind of do. I kind of wanted to keep Jalen Green a little bit. I'll say what's on my mind. I kind of wanted to keep him and see what he turned into.
Over Şengün?
No, I'd just rather have not made the trade in general. But like, now I can't be mad about it because we didn't get fucked over in the trade. So it's like there's nothing to be upset about.
No.
Outside of I just want Jalen Green back, but whatever. I hope he doesn't do well. I know that's probably a bad thing to say, but I hope he doesn't do well because then it's gonna make me feel way worse.
That's nuts.
Yeah, I don't know. I think like I was saying, I think this Rockets team in basketball got better today.
Yeah.
I don't think in the grand scheme of things, we got worse. I think we added scoring where we needed to add it. That was our biggest issue going into the playoffs, and in the playoffs was that we weren't. JG paints his nails black. KD paints the court red. Big difference. I like that. I like that. It is. I think it's kind of, yeah. That is a big difference. You make a good point. The Slim Reaper will paint the court red, and that makes sense. That's funny. That was a good one. Yeah, man. I think this Rockets team got better today. I can't argue. I've yet to see any argument against the basketball side of things. Why this team didn't get better? You make a good point. Losing Jalen Green could potentially hurt. It could potentially suck really bad. Especially if, God forbid, something happens to Kevin Durant and he doesn't play that much at all. But honestly, the deal is structured in such a way. The deal is structured in such a way that even if that happens, we still have the two first round picks at 27. Like you were saying earlier, we still have all the other guys on the roster. So it's not like we really put a lot into it anyway.
Right.
5 shooting guards and win 2 games.
Yeah, they do have a lot of shooting guards. They're going to have to offload some. I think that's what they're doing is just, I don't think that was the plan, was to load up on shooting guards, but I think they just wanted to load up on talent and try to figure out how to get some picks back or something like that. I think Jalen Green's the smart thing for Phoenix to do is definitely to trade him somewhere, but I don't know where or for what.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Still plenty of time.
Where do you want to see Jalen Green at, if not in Phoenix?
I don't know. I haven't even thought about that yet.
You're so hyped up on KD being in Houston.
It's been a good day, man. It's been a good day today. Woke up a little hungover.
Yeah,
me too.
Hell yeah.
Well, I was tore up.
Saw the trade. I've just been reading about how good we are. I'm not really caring about Jalen Green right now. I don't know. There's a lot of teams, like I was saying, like Brooklyn's probably chasing the rebuild quick now. So I could see them making a trade. I mean, who knows? Where it could go.
Dame's going crazy over here. Only D-Book to ask out and be dealt to Detroit for like Asar and anyone other than Durant and Cade.
That would be interesting. You'd have
that would be cool. I feel like
you'd have a Durant with Cade, Devin Booker. I think that'd be an interesting because they'd be kind of set up much like Houston is in reality.
That's a good point.
So because he's like his brother, a defensive demon. So I think that would be an interesting. That would definitely be an interesting thing to. That's a good point, Untamed. Make sure you hit the follow button, like and subscribe. I appreciate it. Trying to get us up in the algorithm, my man. Thanks for the comments. Keeping it moving in here. Keeping it moving and grooving.
Yeah. I don't know. Where do we move forward from this? What is still left? The draft? We don't get a top 10 pick, so it doesn't matter.
My man.
Good man.
Appreciate you, dog.
Good
if you want to share it, I'm not trying to ask for too much. You don't got to ask for too much.
Damn, leave the guy alone, Ethan. Let him do his thing.
My man, appreciate it. So yeah, let's move on to kind of like the future of things here. I think we've kind of talked about the trade in general. Moving on to kind of like the future of where the Rockets could go. Could you see the Rockets making another move in this free agency? Oh, the Thundertaker, yeah.
The Thundertaker.
Thundertaker, that's hilarious.
You see that picture where he's like in the huddle and he's like, eyes, the eyes rolled back in the back of his head.
He's getting it, dude.
Oh
Oh,
man,
God.
that's funny. Yeah, it's
Freaking
funny
head-
right there.
Freaking
Because
head
we're
top.
on the- Yeah, I know.
Who do you guys think takes the game tonight?
Mm,
Oh, Hildebrand, Halliburton, not Hildebrand. Halliburton is
Okay.
starting tonight. Just saw that.
Yeah, that just came through on
Popped
ESPN.
Nice.
I don't know.
I don't know. That's a good question. Okay. It really depends on. I think it really depends on. Oddly enough, I'm going to say name. I think it really depends on how Jalen Williams plays for the Thunder, because he was kind of the sole reason in terms of plus minus why they struggled why they struggled in Game 6. Now, ultimately, you play Game 6 at Halaban and the Thundertaker. Ultimately, that was why they struggled at Game 6, because Oklahoma came out and they were up like 16-2 in the first like 5 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
And then from there on, they just,
I think OKC comes out hot again, goes up. They might even go up by 20 at some point. But I think it's going to come down the last 5 minutes, and Pacers are going to have like the most heroic comeback that they've done all year.
It's gonna be it's gonna be like
they'll close the gap. I'm not saying they'll win in the end, but I think it's not going to be like a dominating victory by any means. I think they take a big stride, and dude, I'd love to see like last second 3 knockdown by Halliburton again. Just win the game. That'd be so sick. That'd be so cool.
That would be sick.
I love that. Everybody's been putting him down for the whole year. Even like through these playoffs. It's like, dude, these guys are coming back every single game and winning.
He said, I just want to close Game 7 before Jesus returns.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I mean, I just want the Rockets to win a championship before we get thrown into a war. That's all I want. Is that too much to ask?
Yeah.
I just want the Rockets to win a chip.
Yeah.
I think it'll probably be. I don't know. I think honestly, in all reality, I think OKC probably pulls it off. Honestly,
Yeah, I think OKC probably should win.
If they don't, it'll be the biggest, like not the biggest, but it'll be a huge letdown and upset, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, we are all Rockets fans on this Chan. We are all Rockets fans. Yep. Now, in other sports, the guy in the middle, Isaac, he's a Alabama fan. So basically he sucks. And oh, he's a Celtics fan over here. Sweet. We made it all.
Yeah. We made it over to Celtics YouTube. How did we get over there?
How do we get over? That's crazy. Honestly, I thought we were gonna get. How would you feel? How would you feel about? Let's say 2 first-round picks, and I don't know. How would you feel about? How would you feel about trading Jaylen Brown to the Rockets? How would you feel about it?
Ooh.
that'd be sweet. But right now, I don't think we have enough to give up. Same kind of thing with Kevin Durant. We got lucky with.
Yeah.
Yeah. What if we just gave him our next 7 first-round picks?
Yeah,
and that's it. Just the picks.
Just the picks.
I mean, they got a tough situation going on right now with their new owner, new facilities coming up. They're paying a lot of money for a lot of stuff. So we'll see if they can keep together in Boston.
Because
I
know Jalen. I know that. Oh, what about Derek White?
That'd be cool. He's a really good defensive player. I don't know if he's necessarily a shooting guard, which is kind of what we need. But,
True.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad about having him on the team.
Yeah. Would you be Untamed? Would you be more interested in trading Jaylen Brown or Derek White?
Don't touch my team.
Hey man,
Sometimes
we're just trying to help you out. Yeah, sometimes you get listen. Hey, Isaac, I'm gonna need you to put your fat head back in the center of your screen, sir. You lean in. There we go. That's better. That's better. Thank you.
I need to fix my setup. My whole setup's messed up. I can't see Shane over here, so I got to look over here to see him because this is blocking his face in my.
Oh, well, you can probably move that out the way. You probably don't need it.
Should probably get a stand for it.
Yeah, that too. You need to get one of these little desk things where you clip it to the desk. Yeah, that's what you really need.
I got some bullshit going on over here. I don't know. Zip ties, duct tape. I got all kinds of stuff going on over here.
Listen, we are from the this podcast is presented you from the bottom.
Yeah, we are.
How scared are you guys going up against Dallas and San Antonio 8 times next year?
Not. San Antonio scares me a little bit.
I mean, honestly, I don't really neither one of them. I was more scared of Dallas with Luka, but they are going to have Cooper Flag. So
Cooper Flag doesn't move me until I see what he does.
All right.
Wasn't Reed Shepherd supposed to be like the next greatest white boy in basketball, and then now Cooper Flag is that?
I mean,
No,
Reed,
I don't think so. I think Reed kind of flew under the
comparable.
radar a little bit at Kentucky. Yeah, he still got some press, but not nearly the amount of press as the old boy in Dallas now. Cooper Flag, well, soon to be in Dallas during the draft, but also Cooper Flag tore it up in college. He's crazy good.
What LeBron being a roadblock for LA to properly rebuild? I mean, at this point, I don't even know if LA really needs to rebuild, honestly. I mean, unless this Luka experiment doesn't work out. Now, if it doesn't work out, then we might have a discussion there. But in all reality, I think LeBron is still LeBron. You know, he hasn't really shown any signs of slowing down. So I don't really see.
How long is that guy gonna play for, man?
Ever. He's eternal. He's inevitable. LeBron is inevitable.
It's like, stop it, dude. Yeah. Go away.
Like he's reached a Tom Brady status where you're like, will you just go lay down? Will you just go take a nap, please? Like it's not fun here anymore.
For sure. But I even if I think LA is doing good. I think they're doing just fine right now.
Yeah, I think they'll be all right. I don't think they're going to win championship this next year, but I mean, who knows?
I mean, they still got Connect. I mean, they still got now. You add Luka with LeBron. I mean, that's still a well put. And they also just got $10 billion more in assets. Now that doesn't go to anything, but like, still, there's they still got some money in the bank. They're not like hurting for money. They're not even. Yeah, I think LA should be fine in our reality. This is honestly probably the correct take.
Answer? Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say you're crazy for saying that. I think that's definitely could be.
Like if he came out and was like, yeah, I was definitely on steroids, we'd be like, yeah, and this is not news.
Yeah, right.
No one at 40 should be doing this. That's absolutely correct. You should not be able to run up and down a court for 38 minutes and tomahawk dunk on somebody and just go home and have a steak dinner. That shouldn't be something you should be allowed to do at 40 years old anyway. Your knees should be cracking. Your back should be hurting. You should sneeze and be able to have to lay down in bed for a week. That's what you should be doing at 40.
KD's almost there too.
His trainers need to be studied. I mean, he spends $1 million a year on recovery, but like his trainers need to be studied.
What do you even spend $1 million? Like I've heard that number too, or like that he.
What even is that?
What do you even do? Like, how do you like? What do you even do?
Well, like he does a lot of the cryo stuff, like the body freezes, and then I don't know, man. Like he probably has a crazy routine. He probably includes like his private chef's salary in there and all the money he's spending on like the correct food to eat, but like I think he gets probably
$1 million on horse nut is crazy. That's insane.
That's hilarious.
Let me get $1 million in horse nut. Let me go ahead and get $1 million of that, please, and thank you.
Oh yeah.
That's shit. If it works,
if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
There you
That's crazy. a million on horse nut.
Stem cells, dude. It's a lot of stem cells.
I feel like he's definitely been on some for sure. There's no way you should be 40 and doing what he's doing. And honestly, like we were saying, I think LA is still positioned to be one of the top teams in the West with LeBron. LeBron is just is a floor mover in the sense that like they're going to be good. He's not going to be on a bad team, So like there's no need for LA to go through a proper rebuild. And even if they wanted to, they wouldn't have to, because you would just unload LeBron for like 42 first round picks, and then you would unload Luka for another 36 first round picks, and then you would just be set for the next 17 years, essentially. So that's pretty much how I feel on that.
Just rebuild around LeBron again.
Yeah, or yeah,
he's never going away.
Jesus.
He's going to be 70 out there hooping like Hakeem Olajuwon or something. He's going to figure out a whole new move and then just kill everybody for the next 20 years.
I read something that he's going to they're going to add a new team in the NBA. And I think he was like looking in Vegas because they passed that thing like a year or two ago about how like they're taking offers for expansions. So
I think I heard on I don't know if it was, I think it was in the pregame of the NBA Finals or postgame of Game 6 or something, where where basically there's still some like movement on when it's going to happen and if it's going to happen, because these NBA owners have to, instead of being one of 30, they're going to be one of 31 now or whatever it is, So like it's one more piece of the pie that they lose.
I feel like they would have to do two teams, to keep it an even number, and they can't have one conference have one more team than the other.
That's another thing. It's like, okay, so you add one and maybe you add Vegas has to be the next spot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Vegas has to be the next spot. And then maybe there's like I
think Seattle, put a team back in Seattle.
Yeah,
They're
Vegas
real
and
big
Seattle.
on the Supersonics, and I could see those two teams getting added.
Could you imagine Luka retiring before LeBron though?
Well, Luka might have to medically retire if he keeps eating too much. He might have to.
Dude, it's the beers.
He might get that Eddie Lacy treatment.
Hell yeah, that's funny. That would honestly be the most LeBron thing in that timeline ever, for Luka to retire before LeBron, then LeBron go win 2 more championships or something stupid. Somehow,
LeBron needs to come to Houston. That's what he needs to do. You want to talk about winning a championship? We need to bring Braun to Houston.
Matter of fact, I'm trade. Let me listen. LA, baby, LA.
We need. I got it. Let's just bring back Yao Ming. He's like
there
the
we
same
go.
age.
Now we're talking.
Maybe a little younger.
There you go.
Let's get some history going. Tracy
Now
McGrady can still ball. I've seen it, man.
Dude, Shaq still looks good. Bring Shaq and Charles Barkley out there.
Yeah, get Charles Barkley back in here. Charles Barkley said that he used to take showers in his jersey. That's how long he was playing. Okay. Oh man. Yeah, I agree. This is funny. This is good. This has been fun. Untamed, you've been great. I appreciate you being in the comments. This is fantastic. Keep it moving. Yeah, man. Okay. Well, I mean, honestly, I think we could wrap it up here in a little bit. Yeah. I mean, let's kind of give our roundabout thoughts on this whole thing went down today, and kind of how you guys feel. I'll start with you, Isaac. How do you feel this could go? Where do you see us going? Could this take us to a championship?
I think it definitely puts us in a better position to get us a championship. I think we probably are more likely to do it now than we were. And overall, it's been a good day, and I'm pleased with what happened, unfortunately.
I'm pleased,
nice.
Unfortunately.
R.I.P. Brooks.
Yes, R.I.P. Dylan Brooks.
Shane?
I think we got it. I think if Kevin Durant can stay healthy, play at least 60 games this next year, if Reed can step up a little bit and get more playing time, become a consistent backup to Van Fleet, I think, and and Thompson stays healthy as well. He kind of got a little banged up in the playoffs, so he's playing hard. Those guys could stay healthy. I think we have just as good a shot as anyone to get a chip.
Yeah, I agree. Put a rocket on the ring, you know. Let's put a rocket on that ring. You know, I think, like I said, I think my kind of final thoughts is I think that this team got better at basketball today. I think we've got everything that we needed to, you know, take us to that next level, because ultimately we didn't really lose anything that brought us to the 2 seed. We only got better. Now, can a Cam Whitmore or a Reed Shepherd, or because I think the unsung hero of this whole thing is going to be Jabari Smith Jr. I think Jabari Smith Jr. could really, if he takes off next year, then I think him taking off next year, along with a Cam Whitmore and Atari and a Reed, those guys taking off next year, adding maybe those 4 guys adding 5 or 6 points to their points per game could equal the 20 points that Jalen Green took out. You know what I mean? So now ultimately Dylan Brooks was a good defender. I think we had good defense regardless. You know,
Yeah.
So I think we still have guys on the team that can play defense. I don't think our defense is going to fall out too much. And if it does, maybe a little bit, I think our offensive scoring power will offset that.
Yeah, I think Thompson's a better defender, going to be a better defender next year than Brooks.
Well, I think what makes Thompson interesting is that he can cover 1 through 5. He can guard, or maybe 1 through 4. He can guard 1 through 4 pretty good, you know?
Yeah.
So,
and he's got like a 60 inch vertical, so that helps too.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this Rockets team got better at basketball today, and ultimately it'll take us to the top 2, not 2 in the West. And I think for the next 4 to 5 years, it's going to be Houston and OKC battling it out to try to, you know, go win the damn thing. And honestly, I think we probably could have beat OKC with the roster we have right now. So adding in a Kevin Durant, I think that changes everything. And I think we are finally, because people got to understand us as Rockets fans, the last 4 seasons, minus this last one, whoo, it was rough. It was rough in these Rocket streets, man. It was rough, you know. So I think we have something to look forward to next year, because it's kind of like when the Texans sucked. We didn't have nothing. We knew we sucked, so like we were just watching the games because we liked football, you know. But now it's like you like football, but also your team is good. It gives you something to watch, and I think we're finally in position to take this team to the next level, and I'm super excited about it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I agree.
All right, man. Well, Untamed, I appreciate you for the like and follow and the subscribe and all the stuff and the comments. You've been keeping it fun in here. For Shane and Isaac, I'm Ethan. This is Texas Sports World. We've had a great time. If you watch this later, like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you thought. Let us know what you think about this trade. It's been a great day to be a Rocket. And y'all have a good rest of y'all's week. Let's do it.
I ain't with that beefing on the net. Tell me what's next. Tell me what's next. I can't listen to the hype when I know that you've been mixed with